the last topic. We've known Marvel has something in the pipeline for September. We just didn't know what it was. Now we do, and it's the Ultron agenda.
Awesome.
So Unite or Perish. It's going to be Dan Slott, Jim Zub, and Skitty. Because obviously they do the Tony Stark book. It's going to start in Tony Stark Iron Man number 16, so it's not far off.
Yeah.
I think it's only like 4 issues off.
4 issues off.
But you'll be forgiven in thinking it's an Ultron event. Because the description kind of says Machine Man's leading this charge and Ultron's just kind of there. But it's called
Ultron agenda.
Yeah, they debated me good and proper with that one. It's like, yeah, Ultron. Oh, Machine Man. No. I get why it's Machine Man. Like, Machine Man's cool. Aaron Sachs, he's a cool character, and he has played a part in this run and everything. And it's just like, I kind of want Ultron. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if you're gonna do something like that, you should just say Machine Man's agenda or something like that.
Yeah.
Way nobody's going, huh? Really? Machine Man, okay.
So like, if you didn't just look at where Ultron is. He's merged with Hank Pym. Hank Pym doesn't have his soul. Spoilers if you didn't read Infinity Wars. Like, it's kind of just Ultron now.
Yeah.
And put him in a Tony Stark book. Tony's currently with Janet. So how is the mind and body of Hank Pym and Ultron going to take that? Like, that's the more interesting part here for me. At least
that's that to me is more interesting than what Machine Man.
It's like, you got Ultron's like Oedipus complex. He's like, oh, mother, I want you. Like, ugh. And then you got Hank Pym. He's like, oh, Janet, you want my wife at one point.
I love you.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, what's that relationship going to be like? But
yeah, I mean, definitely, it seems interesting, but I don't know, man.
To give it a bit of justice, like it does say, like, the robot uprising of the Marvel Universe begins. It's not Ultron leading the charge; it's Machine Man. The AIs are on the attack, and they might be in the right. Battle lines are being drawn. It's time for Tony Stark, Jocasta, Andy Bang, and the rest of the cast to pick sides. Which, like, the whole thing makes sense because Dan starts kind of doing this thing where it's like, is Tony Stark actually Tony Stark at this point? He's died and remade himself so many times. Is it the original one? Not really.
Yeah.
They have been dealing with like robot rights or AI rights, I should say. Jocasta's very much like a social robot warrior. I suppose you can kind of say it like. Or an AIW, whatever.
What other like AIs can you think of? That's like I can only think of like Deathlock. I mean, it seems interesting. I mean, I don't know. I love where they put where Ultron is at the moment. That to me is interesting because of the whole being merged with Hank Pym and like. That to me is more interesting, like you said.
I'm just hoping, like, as to fair, it's kind of me like projecting what I want onto it, but like you call it the Ultron agenda. I kind of expect a lot of Ultron, and like there's no way Ultron's going to play second fiddle to Machine Man. There's no way in hell. So something's going to happen now. Obviously, Ultron's going to take over, or whatever. But it's just like,
Well, I mean, don't you consider like why would they call it the Ultron agenda?
There is that. It's kind of like there has to be something.
Yeah,
I mean, there's something.
He has an agenda. Yeah, it could be like something. I mean, it could be called a million different things,
Yeah.
But they specifically say Ultron agenda. It's like, he might not be the focal point for the first 4 issues, but I guarantee you, eventually, that I think that's gonna turn.
Oh yeah, there's that. Like, even the cover for 16's Ultron. I know you can't really go much from covers, but like he's going to be the focal point. There's no way he stays back.
On the flip side, it's good to see that he's finally getting some love back in the,
Yeah. He had a little bit in Infinity Wars from Duggan, and a bit in Uncanny Avengers from Duggan. I kind of wanted Duggan to finish this off, but like, obviously Duggan's off doing, what's Duggan? I think he's doing Savage Avengers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like.
So is this gonna? Oh, go ahead.
Are you gonna say sorry?
I was gonna say, is it gonna cross into other issues, or is it just gonna stay within?
I'm not 100% sure. I think the only thing they've said so far is that it's just Tony Stark Iron Man. Like I imagine, like it's got Jim Zub help because Zub's helping Slot write the scene because Slot can't keep it on schedule. But, it's like it's Ultron. You have to include like the Pym family tree.
Yeah, I mean,
you kind of can't. You know, we have Vision and we have Viv. You know, I'm not entirely sure Ultron or Pymtron knows about Viv. You know, that's another AI right there. Yeah. You know, you got him, like, you got Sparky.
Like Gerald said, Jocasta.
Jocasta, yeah, she's going to play a part. Like, if it's Machine Man doing everything, like, she's.
Well, I mean, if it means anything, I remember hearing stuff about Machine Man back at work a while, it was like a couple months ago. I don't know. I mean,
Christ. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. He's a very, like, you know, he's got a lot of potential.
I mean, like, whether it was a cartoon or animated or like live action, I heard a lot of rumblings with the character.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to bring about.
I mean, like, it's a very deep cut when it comes to the Marvel universe.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like, the last time he was, like, in center stage was, like, Marvel zombie stuff. And
that was years ago now.
And, like, that was, it was, like, years ago now. So, like, I mean, they have a tendency to start bringing back older characters that, like, you know, kind of, like, middle-tier characters and try to, like, you know, up their echelon, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm trying to think that apart from Marvel Zombies, I think the last thing I read him in anyway, apart from this as well, might have been the Ultimate Future Foundation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think, which was like 2012. So it's been a long time since.
But I mean, he might have been in it, but was he like the focal point? Because I remember the Marvel Zombies thing was like he was the focal point of that.
I mean, he was one of the, like, because obviously they were doing that on Fantastic Four again. So you had like Tony Stark, you had Sue, you had Falcon, and then I think Machine Man was also the fourth one. So it was kind of like at least a quarter of that book. I can't remember half of it because it was trash. But it was definitely something. But yeah, so September 18th is going to be the first part of this. I think it's no way just going to be a single story arc. You don't bring in Ultron and just do like 6 issues, but
and it's like the way it sounds, Ultron Agenda, it just sounds massive.
I was going to say, like, if this doesn't explode into something bigger than that, I'll be surprised. Like, I've got no problem with it not being a massive event. No. You know, it's quite nice. You know, they've got like 5 going on in the minute anyway. But like, I didn't actually. If you look at the cover, there is Jocasta and Wasp in the background, so something is going to happen with that. So that's going to make me happy.
I wonder if Deathlock is, because Deathlock is like an AI, right? Or is it? He's just a cyborg.
Yeah, I think he's. I'm not sure with Deathlock. I think it could be both. There's a couple of them, so like one could be an AI.
Because I know the one on is he currently on X-Force, right? Maybe I'm
not sure. The X-Men books, I'm like, I'm sitting here waiting for Hickman, waiting to get blessed.
Nobody cares about it until they.
That's where I currently am with the X-Men. It's like, when's Hickman coming? Cool, thanks. But yeah, it's. I'm excited for it. Like, Dan Slott's Tony Stark Iron Man run has been really solid so far. So got no reason to feel bad.
Do you think they're gonna separate Pym and Ultron anytime soon?
A small part of me hopes not. A big part of me wants them to stay like that because it's the most interesting it's been in a long time. And
especially Hank Pym.
See, yeah, I can't do Hank like that. I love Hank Pym. Like, no matter what that guy does, he's like one of the most interesting characters in Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, he is, like, I think out of all of them, I mean, even starting back with the whole like domestic dispute, abuse stuff, you know, like that's it. That's the first time I've seen like anything in a comic or a mainstream comic like that, you know, like, and like
Fantastic Four did it first. No one will talk about that, but Reed Richards hit Sue Storm first.
Yeah, you know, the 60s mentality, man.
Everyone forgets that Reed. Poor Hank. To be fair, the comics do kind of go, Hank, remember this. Remember the time you hit Janet? Like, let the man move on.
They're like constantly reminding this poor guy, you know, no wonder he can get past it.
And again, you know, it was kind of the catalyst for why he's one of like their most interesting characters.
Yeah,
I mean, he set him on that path, so I can't really complain. But
that's true. I mean, but like the poor guy can't get past it. You know,
like
nobody wants to let him go, man.
No,
like all these characters have done 10 times probably worse than.
Yeah. Like there was
Tony Stark.
There was that fantastic. I think it was issue 4 of Secret Empire, where like, they had dinner at Pimtron's, and he's like, he just calls them out. And it's like, you guys have done far worse. Like,
I mean, if we look at Tony Stark and Iron Man, you know, like that guy's probably like could have destroyed the world several times over. You know,
I mean, they did the Illuminati destroyed many worlds. Like that's far worse than just slapping one woman. Like, dude, it's pretty shitty. But,
not that we're condoning about the hitting of women, but
no.
But destroying other worlds is pretty bad.
No. Sure, Pym hit a woman. They killed a lot of.
I mean, we're not even gonna dig through. We're not gonna dig through Thor's closet either. So like, this poor
Thor's no doubt done stuff. So like, give
poor trolls.
Give Pym a break. Justice for Hank Pym. That's what.
I don't know if we should start that one, but hashtag.
I mean, statute of limitations has to come in at some point.
It's true. I mean, it has been over 3-4 decades, you know. So.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time.
People can be rehabilitated, man.
Well, they can. Unless you get absorbed by your robotic son. And,
that's true. That's a different topic altogether.
Yeah. But that's going to bring this week's show to an end. So thanks everyone for joining. Thank you for joining this impromptu little one.
Always a pleasure.
And we will catch you all next time. So bye.
Bye-bye.